In this lesson, you're going to learn how to protect your workbook from modification or using the read-only option. So if you need to protect your particular workbook, you simply need to open that particular workbook that you are working on. Then make sure you click on the Review tab, then click on Protect Workbook. So Excel is going to ask you to either provide a password, and it's also going to give you this option to protect the structure. Protecting the structure means that you cannot add more cells, you cannot add more worksheets to this particular workbook, or you cannot remove or copy any other worksheet into this particular workbook. And that is what it means by protect workbook structure. So you can give it a password or you can just leave it blank. So once you click on OK, if you want to create a new worksheet, this option of creating a new worksheet has been grayed out. And if I want to move this particular worksheet, this option has also been grayed out. I cannot move, I cannot rename, I cannot delete. So that is how you protect that particular worksheet. But remember, if you need to protect a particular worksheet, protecting a workbook does not prevent someone from inserting a column or a row in a particular worksheet. If you want to disable these features, you need to make sure that you enable the protect worksheet function that I've already taught you about how to do it. So protecting a worksheet works in conjunction with the protect workbook function. Protecting workbook function just prevents the structure of this particular workbook from being changed, but protecting the worksheet prevents people from adding particular columns or rows or cells or inserting or deleting cells from this particular worksheet. So another way you can protect the whole of this workbook is by going to the File function, then click on Save As. Scroll to the section that you wish to save your particular document. For example, I'm going to click on the exercise files. Then in the Tools function, I click on Tools, then click on the General Options tab. Then I can say for anybody to open this particular workbook, they need a password to open it. And for anybody to modify this particular workbook, they also need a password for them to be able to modify this particular workbook. So if I wish somebody to, so let me just rename this particular workbook Sales Data 2019 Protection. So once you have renamed that particular workbook into the name you wish to save as under function as, then you need to click on Tools, General Options, put the password that will be required for you to open that particular workbook. I'm going to put 123, and the password to modify this particular workbook will be 123. Then I can click on Read Only, recommended that I enable that function. So once I enable this Read Only checkbox, it means that I'm going to be given an option. If I open this particular workbook using this password, it's going to ask me whether I want to read or I just want to modify it. So that is how this dialog box is going to be presented. So once I click on OK, I need to enter the password again, 123. Then password again, password to modify 123. The first re-enter password was to open the particular workbook, and the second re-enter password is for the modification password. So I click OK, then I click on Save. So that particular workbook will need to be closed for the changes to take place. Let me close it. So if I come to open it again, then I double click on the Open function. Excel is going to ask me for the password to open that particular worksheet, so I need to put the password. And also Excel is also going to ask me to enter the password for the right access or to open read only. If I do not want to modify this particular workbook, I can just select read only, and I will skip this this section for modifying the modification password. So because I want to modify the Excel document, I just also need to enter the modification password, which is 123 again. Then I click OK. Then I'll be given this dialog box, which I had shown you in the earlier section of this video, the read-only checkbox, which is prompting me whether to open it as a read-only or I want to modify it. So Excel will prompt me, the author would like you to open sales data 2019 protection as read-only unless you need to make changes. Open as read-only. If I select yes, I'll be opening the Excel workbook as a read-only workbook. But if I select no, I'll be opening it as a modification. I'll be opening it with the functions to modify that particular workbook. So I'll select no. So I have full protection on how to, so I have full access on whether to edit or modify this particular workbook. Okay. So if I want to disable all these protection features which I've enabled in this particular workbook, what I simply need to do is to go to File, Save As, save in that particular location, select that particular workbook, Tools, General Options, then remove those particular passwords. And also remove the read-only prompt. Then I click OK. Then click Save. So Excel is going to ask me to confirm, then I click Yes. So I can go to File, Close, Open File Location. Then I click on Sales Data 2019 Protection. And once I click on it, you can see that all protection has been removed. And that is how you protect your workbook from modification. If there's something you've not understood in this video, take time to rewatch the video again, and I'm sure you'll be able to get it. See you in the next lesson.